Greetings, citizens from the far reaches of the internet. I am Silver, or Silverwebby, and welcome back to MewnBase. Without further ado, let's just hop in. So, as you can see where we just left off last time, we have the radar device. I'm not sure exactly what that's called. The comms tower. I'm going to make a nav light real quick just to say that I've made it, but I'm not really sure that I'm actually going to use it. We have a powered rain collector and a water supply. However, it hasn't rained in a while, so the spigot, water supply, and powered rain collector haven't technically been used. Then of course we made the vehicle and used that. That was fun. And now we're running really low on power because of all of the additions that we've made to the base. So we should probably begin by trying to get the resources for another RTG. That, and I'm going to add a little bit of water into the water collector. Another thing that we're going to do in this episode is we are going to build the greenhouse, which requires an outdoor garden, which we already have one, but I'm going to make a new one specifically for this, a habitat module, and one of the cable things, the conduits, I believe. Yes, a conduit. It actually requires 2 conduits. Okay, so first I'm going to build the garden patch, which requires 6 wood and 4 rocks, which means that we're going to need more wood anyway. So, it's time to go gathering. Another artifact down, and another one in, and now we have enough for the flooring and for the wind power, which we actually had enough at the end of the last episode, I just didn't realize until now. So, flooring, wind power. And now that's everything unlocked. Any research samples from now are just to unlock these last little bits, but that's not technically part of our challenge. So, now I'm going to start working on the greenhouse. Gonna start working on nuclear fuel. Okay, the RTG requires 2 nuclear fuel, so unfortunately we're going to need to go out and get some more resources for that. I'm going to deposit the scrap metal and the ore for now and take a nav light with. I'm not sure what exactly that does, but that's okay. I can figure that out at a later point. So, yes, we're going to need more resources for the RTG, but we can get a pretty good start just with what we have. Daytime, everything's back and functional again. Looks good to me. I'm off on another expedition. Back to the base so as to on-screen everything here, because I do believe it doesn't actually behave unless it's on-screen. I am also going to throw some rocks in the furnace to make the walkways and pavement. Huh. It looked like the walkway didn't actually increase your running speed, but now that I'm using it, it almost certainly does. And now that the storm has subsided, I'm going back out to find more rocks. While I certainly haven't got the amount that I was hoping to, I'm going to call it at that amount because if I'm going to actually make this challenge, I don't think I'm going to be able to have the luxury of doing some more mining. Or at least not for uranium. Now, I'm going to start work on some of the other things that I haven't exactly used yet, such as the light, which I just realized requires the metal beams and not the metal plates. Daylight sensors. So that requires conduits and electronics. And now I can make the light. And I'm going to stick that out this side of the base. Light sensor here. Light here. Let's see how this works. Cool. And then of course there's the manual power switch, which I don't think I'm actually going to be using in any real capacity. That's cool. Not exactly sure what I would use that for, but I'm gonna have it and put it here. Just for the sake of having it, really. Now it's nighttime and the light's working. It's actually pretty cool. What else is there to do, really? I haven't used a wind turbine yet. That requires an engine. That's big. I'm just gonna see, if I put it over here, does it still connect to my base? No. If I make conduits... There we go. That's how you're supposed to connect that. And now I've used conduits. Cool. I haven't made the med bay yet, and that is going to require another expedition. There's the med bay down. Nice. And I'm really not sure what else there is. I've completed construction fully, used all the tools, built all the flooring, used all of the power. I've used the chemistry lab, which is technically the only thing in here that I have to use. I don't need to use the healing stew or the oxygen tank because they're not base components. Battery and battery cell, well, battery, but the battery cell was used in the battery. All of this is done. Wind turbine, engine is an item. I've placed all of those and used all of those. I've placed the garden and used the garden. Storage, I haven't placed the cargo container. I've only used the indoor storage, but I'm gonna say it doesn't count. Like, you don't need to use the cargo. Or actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go make that cargo. There we go. Huh. Okay. So, putting the storage as an indoor storage doubles the size of the storage. I didn't realize that. So when I gave the storage on the truck a bad rap, really it didn't need it, because it's just storage. That's the same size. Well, that's my bad. And I've built everything in here. I've built every base component. I don't see anything that I'm missing except the metal wall. I'm going to go out and get the resources required for the metal wall right now, and that's that. That's where I'm going to end the episode. Just realized how dumb that was, because I don't have a shovel with which to mine the ore. I also have just enough materials to make that improved shovel. I also just realized that some of my base is in a bit of a dumb position, so I'm going to rearrange some of my base when I get back. And just like that, on day 30, with 40 seconds on the clock, I completed my challenge. Just doing a little bit of rearranging of some of my base, just cuz. But really, that's the challenge done and complete. So then, that's that. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this entire series as it's come to its full conclusion now. I know I certainly have, and I quite enjoyed the first little few episodes where I was speedrunning the game to the best of my abilities with the previous knowledge from my previous run, which was not recorded. And as a result of that, I think if you guys are enjoying this, I may end up doing one more episode at some point, where I speedrun the game start to finish, build up a big base like this, as fast as I possibly can with everything that I've learned from this run. Like, for example, build the rover immediately. It is not overrated. It is actually surprisingly good. The little drone thing, it's cool, but it's really not all that useful. You can do what it does all on your own fairly easily. The health thing, the med bay or whatever, as I anticipated, it isn't really all that useful, unless of course you're really low on health, but at that point just chug some food or oxygen or whatever. The suit upgrade, which is the first thing that I got in this series, definitely helped, but I think the vehicle might almost be better to get immediately. Growing your own plants, I started that in my save before this one pretty early, and that was definitely useful. I started that on this save towards the very end because I figured I had enough food, and clearly I did not, because I've been starving pretty much this entire episode, or this entire series. The last few episodes especially, though. The battery is highly useful. I would actually probably recommend making more than just the one, but the battery fully upgraded is fairly decent. The comms tower is a little bit more useful than you'd expect, but not really, like, massively useful. It's not a massive boost. I don't know. It doesn't help as much as it can. I don't know. The rain collector, the automatic one, is a pretty good jump if you can just jump to it as opposed to keeping the previous one. And I guess that's about it. I think that's everything I've learned. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. This has been probably my favorite series on the channel so far. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will see you next time. Bye.